great evening, and great evening once again. Let's show this. Hold on one moment. Okay, that's better. So, welcome to the Sonya Dungee podcast, where conversation is always the essence of the soul. I am your host, Sonya Dungee, and yes, we are still bringing the heat to the YouTube, Facebook, and IG streets. Tonight's episode, Stuck Like a Deer in Headlights, episode number 44, is being sponsored by Always Destined for Greatness LLC. So glad to have all of you here tonight. And I want to thank you for joining as always. Welcome. I see you on IG. I see you on Facebook. And I see you as well on YouTube. So tonight we are going to be ready for that no holds bar, all in 100% resilient for 2025. Okay, so please go ahead and comment resilient so I know you are ready. Go ahead. I'll wait a moment. And a matter of fact, while you're commenting resilient, I am going to formally introduce myself and share a small portion of my story explaining how I arrived here tonight with all of you. So my story of transformation started on January 23rd of 2021 at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was a Saturday, and it happened at the Veterans Administration Hospital in Northport, New York. As I sat next to my dad and I held his left hand while I watched a tear roll down his cheek, I had to witness my dad taking his last breath here on this earth and his first breath in heaven. I had no idea that it was going to happen this way. None. I was just told, a matter of fact, not even 48 hours before, that my dad had 6 months to live, which came out of nowhere, left field. Okay. And here I find myself less than 48 hours later watching my dad take his last breath. And as a result of that, I spiraled out of control. I mean, let's just be transparent and keep it 100% honest, if I may. I screamed, I hollered, I performed. I didn't want my dad to go. It was in the midst of the pandemic. My daughter graciously Zoomed us so that we can say goodbye to my dad, because I have siblings that live in other countries and other states, and even family that was outside, but they were only limiting the amount of people that could be with my dad. And with that was my daughter, who was Zooming, and she's in the medical profession, so we felt that she could handle it, and my son. And in the midst of all of that, thank God we had the nurse that we did, and she didn't care about orders, and she told my daughter to come in and get me. So that's how I was able to be there with my dad. But after seeing him pass, and that's something I never wanted to do, I never want to repeat again the way that happened, I spiraled out of control. I was in a dark place. I didn't drug, I didn't drink, I didn't do any of those, but I just segregated myself from everybody else. I was just doing the basic, as that hamster on the wheel, just going around and around and around in circles. And I did this for 342 days. I lost a lot of weight. I didn't even realize. I wasn't trying to. I wasn't spending time with my grandchildren nor my family, and every opportunity, almost on a daily basis, I was going to Calverton National Cemetery to be around my dad. And it wasn't until I decided that enough was enough. I could not do that anymore, that it wasn't conducive to my well-being. It wasn't conducive to my health. It wasn't conducive to anybody that was around me. So after 142 days, the realization was my dad would not expect this of me, and he would not have tolerated that. So therefore, I had to get my act together. And in that, I sought help. I got a mentor. I was able to surround myself with a positive community of like-minded individuals. I had to pour into myself. By pouring into myself, that means I had to invest in myself. Yes, money. And in that, my mentor told me that if I did the work and if I showed up and if I was intentional and I was coachable and if I was teachable, that he would show me how I could find my true purpose, because that's what it is that I wanted to do. I knew I was here on this earth for a purpose. I love people. I love to volunteer, just like my dad did. I felt that I was just wasting my life away. And in the beginning, I thought that I was going to show him, my mentor. Imagine that, my mentor. I'm going to show him that I'm going to be teachable, coachable, intentional, and all that. But the reality of it was I wasn't showing him. I was showing up for myself. I was there for myself. I was pouring into myself in personal development and taking these classes and extra classes, and every class I could put my hands on. He allowed us to be in repeat classes. You name it, I was there. I never once missed a class because I was afraid I might miss something or I might learn it differently or what have you. But the bottom line was I made that decision. And then 342 days later is when I made the first step. The first step. Fast forward 3 years plus later, I am proud to say that I am a transformation coach. And I help those that are struggling in hardship and in grief and in life challenges go from suffering in silence, just like I was, feeling stuck with no direction, no end in sight, to become unstuck and resilient with clarity and an attitude of expectation and excellence to achieve economic independence so that they too can be destined for greatness and walk fully in their God-given purpose. So, and I truly believe that the things that goes on in our life is part of our story, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I feel like my dad left me a gift, and this is the gift that I'm to pass on, because after all, I beat out 299 million to be here. So my life is purposeful. And I'm just going to check in the interim, make sure we're all on the same page. And I see that we are, so that's great. All right, so this podcast, this episode is dedicated to all of you, your boss overcomers. And in case you don't know what that means, we've all overcome something in our life to become resilient. And that's what we are going to do. And that is our focus. That is our motto for 2025. Despite everything else that is going on in this world, we as individuals need to be responsible for ourselves and be resilient in the process. All right, so tonight we are going to be discussing three steps to go from stuck to unstuck. Now, this episode, I intentionally chose stuck like a deer in headlight. We've all, especially if you live in the country or have been to the country and you've experienced an encounter with a deer, especially if you're driving and at night, once that light hits them, they're like, and they're just like that and they don't move. And so that is the equivalent to being stuck. Okay. We all know what stuck means. Stuck is trapped, caught, frozen, and could even mean attached. Okay. So step one is that we need to come to the realization that you are stuck. And you could be stuck in grief. You can be stuck in hardship. You can be stuck in life challenges. There are three, and they are different. We all know grief is different, but hardship and life challenges, they are different. And we spoke about it many a times before. So that feeling of being stuck can equate to a dead end job, a bitter custody battle or divorce, an abusive relationship, or a relationship that you had with a friend that for whatever reason it was severed, loss of a loved one, or even a pet. And that's just to name a small few. There are many, as we know. We've talked about them in the past. We spoke an entire episode just about being stuck and the ways of being stuck. I mean, I more recently came to the realization that as an empty nester, that's a stuck. Now, I know how I feel about my children. And when my children left, I cried. I did. I cried. Just like the first day of school for each of my 3 children, I cried. Okay, so being an empty nester, you're starting all over again. So you're feeling stuck. You don't know what to do. Some are like, I'm partying. I'm getting rid of their room, getting rid of their room. I'm going to make it, whatever. And others are like, come back. I miss them. And they're stuck. Okay. So step 2 is the decision. You have to decide what it is that you want out of life and sit in it, meditate in it, think about it clearly, fully. What is it that you're looking to get out of your life? Okay. And who is affected by that decision? Is it your significant other? Is it your children? Is it your friends, your community? It affects a lot of people in a lot of ways, okay? And how will this decision change your direction? Okay? How will this decision change your direction? And then step number 3 is you want to take action. You want to be a doer, not a shoulda, coulda, woulda, a doer. Okay? You want to actually step forward. Do it. Okay? Put in that effort to carry it out. Deal with the situation at hand, but take action. And part of that action could be something that I offer and will offer again tonight is can sit down with a coach, a mentor, as I do. I offer 30 minutes with me as a call to action. It's called A Heart to Heart with Sonya. And we actually sit down and from what it is that you tell me, and I have you fill out a survey, I know exactly what it is. And together by us sitting down, we can develop a life blueprint for you. And I'm offering you that free. Okay. So when I post to IG, I will give you the link. And I really welcome all of you, whether you're watching now or on the replay, to set up a one-on-one with me. You have nothing to lose. There's no hidden agenda behind it. It's because I want everybody to become resilient in 2025 and move forward one step more than the day before. Okay. So that is number 3. So we are briefly going to go over it again as I jump back and forth here. Okay. Thank you. Good evening. Resilient. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Just checking in the comments if you wonder what I'm doing. Don't want to leave anybody hanging who might have commented something, but we're now going to go back over your steps. Okay. And I welcome you to write them down. And these are just a few of the steps that I chose. There are many. And we will be discussing that on April the 2nd for the Boss Masterclass. It's a Wednesday. It'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be the 5 strategies to build resilience and step into the life you desire. So it will just further along what it is that we're talking about. And I will give you strategies that you'll be able to take away from the masterclass tools that you can utilize moving forward. Okay. So again, step one was that realization that you're stuck. You got to admit it and realize, like, hey, because I knew I was that hamster or gerbil, if you want to say, on a wheel, just going around and around and around. Nothing really changed day to day, or can equate it to anybody who's watched the movie Groundhog Day. The only thing that changed for me was the days of the week, the months, and that was basically it. So by second, by minute, by hour, by day, it was the same old, same old. Whatever my tour was, I would go and work my tour because I work from home. So it was just coming from my bedroom by opening the door, walking across the living room, doing my tour, shutting everything down, closing that door, walking back across the living room, shutting my door, and boom, to the next day. I had a bathroom in there. I didn't really have a reason to come out. And heck, I really wasn't eating. So I really didn't. I just shut myself out from the world. And that is not what you want to do. And that is being stuck. So once I came to that realization, that was the beginning of me being able to move forward. Okay. But you have to realize what stuck is. You're not just, oh, I'm just going through something and I'm going to come out fine on the other side. That is true. I call them the storms of life. But you have to know that if, in my case, it was grief. And it's okay to grieve. And it's not to say we'll never grieve again, because we definitely will. It's just the knowing of not allowing yourself to become so stuck that you can't move forward, that you don't know if you're going or you're coming or anything. And you're smiling on the outside, and on the inside, you're broken, as I was. But see, I thought I was fooling everybody with the smile when they said, well, how are you doing? I'm fine. And in my mind, I'm like, I can't believe you asked me that question, or she asked me that question, or why would you ask me that question? My dad went to be with the Lord. He's not here anymore. That's what I was in here. I really didn't even want to hear people saying, my condolences, sorry for your loss, because yes, in a sense, I did lose my dad. But I don't see it as a loss, because my dad is always going to be in my mind. He's always going to be in my soul. He's always going to be in my heart. And I know where he went. I can admit to it now. He's with the Lord. He's with the Lord. So 2 is the decision. What is it that you're going to decide to do? What do you want out of life? Do you have goals? If they're goals, are they smart goals? Do they make sense? But meditate on that for a while. Don't make any rash decisions. Meditate. Think it through clearly, with clarity. And ask yourself, who is being affected by the decisions that I'm going to make? Is it my significant other? Is it my children? Who is it? Okay. And how is this decision going to change my direction? Okay. Because if you don't have the answers to this, you're not going to be able to take an action, because you're still stuck. Okay. And in that take action, be a doer, not a shoulda, not a woulda, a doer. Put into effect, carry it out, deal with the situation at hand. And in doing that, you have to find yourself a mentor, a coach, a transformation coach, such as myself, just like I did. Because willpower alone isn't going to do it. And you need a community of supportive, like-minded individuals that are going in the same direction in which you choose to travel. They're going to lift you up in your darkest moments. It's going to be non-judgmental. They're not going to shoulda, woulda, coulda, but they're going to hold you accountable. And if you're not in that type of community, as some people say, network, and they're not like-minded as maybe they should be, well, I hate to break it to you, but it's time that you reevaluate and get rid of to be able to move forward one step more than the day before. Okay. So again, those were the 3 steps. And again, I am inviting you to our next Boss Masterclass, which is presented by Always Destined for Greatness LLC. And it's going to be the 5 strategies to build resilience and step into the life you desire. All right. And I, in the meantime, am going to be taking DMs. So if you DM me or if you text me, if you have my email and you would like to be part of this masterclass, go ahead and DM me your email and I will make sure that I send you the registration link. And it's based on first come, first serve, but I am giving you the opportunity first to register. And to be quite honest, point blank, the time is now. There's too much going on in this world. There's too many opinions. As I said to you before, we got 4 voices. God's voice should be number 1 in your life. If you're a believer, if you're a child of God and truly believe it, God's voice should be your number 1 voice you're listening to. Number 2 should be yours, your voice. Number 3 is others' voices. And number 4, I don't give it the time of the day. That's the enemy's voice. And I don't listen, bring up, talk about, or anything. Number 4. Okay? 1 and 2, I value people's opinions, and it's great to get their opinions and everything. But at the end of the day, God's voice and your voice is the 2 voices that you really should be taking into consideration big time. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying all of that is because this masterclass is a free masterclass. No strings attached. Okay. This is the only way that we're going to be resilient in 2025 if we start taking action and we start doing and we stop laying back and waiting for things to change. Because if you lay back and wait for things to change, it's not going to change. It has to start with you. Me personally, I'm about taking action. I'm a doer. So whenever I can get into a masterclass that somebody is teaching for free, I'm all in it. I'm all for it. I'm the first one there and I'm taking notes. The last one to leave. Okay. So think about it. Get back to me. The choice is yours at the end of the day. Okay. But I will definitely send you the registration link. And then on Sunday, actually, it'll be Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. going into Sunday. I will be dropping the registration link for everyone else to register. Okay. So with that being said, just let me go back in here and double check because I don't want to miss anybody. I appreciate all of you. I value you. I value your time. And I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on any of these great comments that I'm seeing here. Thank you for tuning in from Florida. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for that comment. It's well appreciated. Value, thank you. If you got value, please put in the comments that you got value. If you were able to relate, put relate in the comments. If you had an aha or breakthrough, please tell me that as well. Because if I don't see any of that, then I need to reevaluate because I'm not bringing value to you. And that needs to change. Those who acknowledge the past but committed to move forward, power of community cannot be underestimated. Yes. Amen. Amen. Don't give him no ground, the enemy. Amen. Yes. You guys got it 100% clear. I'm glad the message was well received. And I value you. I love the comments. Thank you so much for sending me comments independently. If there is any specific topic that you would like to discuss, please let me know and I'll be glad to investigate, research, and bring it back to you. And also, we all know that this month is Women's Month. It's our month. Sorry, guys, but it's our month. So I want to applaud all of you women that are out there and you're doing your thing and you're walking in purpose and that you're changing lives. Thank you so much for that. We really need to focus on doing that and being more present amidst of all the spiritual warfare that's going on, and also to commemorate those women that have passed, that have paved the way for us and with their innovations and inventions. I want to also pay homage to all of them as well. So with that being said, thank you for joining. You are going to see me popping up because I will be talking more about the Boss Masterclass coming up. And with that being said, you have an amazing, incredible, iconic night. Stay safe, stay well. God bless you all. And remember, be always destined for your greatness, your very best. Don't you dare compare your beginning with somebody else's middle. Bye for now.